Warm greetings to one and all. I am Dr. Shuaib Mohannad Bhat, working as Assistant Professor at the Department of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today, I would like to deliberate on an interesting topic, which is prepositions. We all have heard since our childhood about prepositions. This is one of the interesting topics in grammar, and I must say it is one of the trickiest topics. Now let's see what preposition is. How can we use different prepositions in different contexts? Let's go with the definition first. The word preposition, it's actually a compound of prefix pre and main word position. So pre means, where we all know pre means before. We have discussed it in the previous lecture where I talked about word formation. There I talked about prefix and suffix. Prefix comes before, suffix comes after. So here we have pre, which means before, and position means the position of noun or pronoun. That means it is something which is placed before the position or before the place of noun or pronoun. And we can say, to elaborate the definition, we can say preposition is a grammatical unit. It's placed before a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. For what purpose we are using it? To show relation with some other word or words. So with the help of preposition, we can show the relationship of noun, pronoun, or noun phrase before which we place this preposition. We show what is the relationship of this noun, pronoun, or noun phrase with some other word or with some other group of words in a sentence. And we use it in order to show direction, time, place, location, so on and so forth. It's used for the prepositions are used for these purposes. Let's go with these examples. I have two examples here for you. One is, he went before me. If you see these two sentences, or the first one, we have he, which is pronoun, third person singular. We have went, it is verb in second form. We have before, it is preposition, and we have me, which is pronoun. I told you, preposition can be placed before noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. So see here, we have this preposition which is used before pronoun. Then there is another sentence, he is fond of tea. We have another sentence, he is fond of tea. So we have third person singular, he or pronoun. Is, we have helping verb. We have fond, its adjective. We have of, its preposition. And we have tea, its noun. Here preposition is placed before noun. Then how does it show the relationship of the noun, pronoun, or noun phrase before which it comes? I'll speak that, or I'll show you that in the upcoming slide. So we come to know preposition. These are the words which come before, or which we use before a noun, pronoun, or before a noun phrase. Then, so there is one interesting thing which we want to ask you all. And this is happening at many places. This thing is being questioned by a number of people. Like, can we end a sentence with a preposition? Can we end? For example, the sentences are, there's nothing in geography which he does not know of. The sentence ends with preposition. That's in the sentence, what are you looking at? Again, we have a sentence which ends at preposition. Can we end sentences which end with prepositions? There were two men of letters. There were two men of letters. One is John Dryden, another is Poole. They were against this idea because they want to align English language with Latin language. But many of the grammarians, many of the linguists, they encourage people to use English where we can end a sentence at a preposition or with a preposition. It's not anything which is against grammar, against the rules. So we can, especially when it comes to communicative English, or when it comes to informal situations, there we have the liberty we can use. So there's no restriction. We can end the sentences with prepositions. Now, what is the function of prepositions? Prepositions can show us relationship between noun and noun. They can show relationship between adjective and noun, or they can show relationship between verb and noun, etc. So on and so forth. For example, there is a sentence, the cow eats grass in the field. We have the as article, we have cow, it's noun, eats, we have verb, grass again is noun, in is preposition, the is article, and field again is noun. If you see this preposition which I used here, in, it shows the relationship between grass and field. So it is this in which tells us grass is in the field. And again there is also, it shows the relationship between cow and field. Same is the case, we have another sentence, he is fond of tea. It is this of, preposition of, which shows the relationship between adjective fond and noun tea. We come to know with the help of this of that someone is fond of tea. Someone likes tea. So prepositions, they show relationship between noun and noun, adjective and noun, or verb and noun, so on and so forth. Then, kinds of prepositions. What are different kinds of prepositions? We have simple prepositions like in, at, on, off, for, and off. Then we have compound prepositions. Compound prepositions, if you remember my previous lecture where I taught you compound words, compounding. Compound prepositions, prepositions made of two words. Like we have here within, beside, behind, so on and so forth. Then phrasal prepositions are there like by way of, in course of, in order to. So number of prepositions are there. The count is not limited to 3 only. The count is not limited to 4 only. There are number of prepositions in the list. Now I cannot write here all the prepositions in a single row. So in order to give you an idea what a phrasal preposition looks like, what a compound preposition looks like, what a simple preposition looks like, I have taken few prepositions as an example for you all. Now, what is the usage of a simple preposition? I'll talk about two prepositions, in and at. As I told you at the very outset, this is the trickiest topic. Because we see there are a number of people, number of students, they are having always some sort of confusion regarding the usage of prepositions. Where to use in, where to use at, where to use on, which preposition should be used with the place, which preposition should be used with the time, which preposition should be used regarding a point, particular point, regarding address. So some sort of confusion always remains there in the minds of learners. So it is the trickiest topic, so you need to pay attention. If I talk about in and at, they vary, they change their meaning according to the context in which we use them. If you use them prepositions of place, they are following or they serve different functions. If you use them as prepositions of time, you will see they can be used in different contexts. They function a different way. Like we have this preposition in. When we talk about in as a preposition of place, in shows area, at shows point, a particular point, and in shows the whole area. For example, he lives in Hyderabad. If I tell you I live in Hyderabad, do you literally come to know the exact location of my residence? No, never. Because Hyderabad is a big area. Mere calling out I am from Hyderabad cannot help you to reach to my exact destination. So when we have an area which is larger, we use in. We use in for showing an area. Then another example, interesting example. He lives at Dundigal in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is an area. It has number of municipalities, it has number of towns, number of cities, maybe there. But one town among them is Dundigal. So Dundigal is a particular point. We don't have number of Dundigals in Hyderabad. It's a single town, single village there in Hyderabad. So when we have the point, we use Dundigal. When we have a point which we show a place as a point, we use preposition at. And when we talk about an area, the entire area, we use in. Then, one interesting example is there where I'll check what have you learned so far. Our plane stopped at Mumbai on the way to Iran. Had I told you Hyderabad is a bigger area, we use in. Dundigal is a smaller area, we use at. Hyderabad again is big area, we use in. But Mumbai also is bigger in size. Why at here? It's something which we need to learn. I told you it is a tricky topic. Our plane stopped at Mumbai on the way to Iran. If you look at this definition, at the explanation which I gave for Hyderabad, then it seems there must be in, not at. There is no space for at. But when I talk about a plane stopped at Mumbai on the way to Iran, now tell me, where do planes stop? Aeroplanes? They stop at airport only. So when I talk about Mumbai, no doubt it's a bigger area. But an airport in the Mumbai is not a bigger area. It is a point. For example, hey, I'll meet you at airport in Mumbai. At is a smaller area. At is a point. So that's why Mumbai here does not indicate the entire area of Mumbai. It indicates airport. Our plane stopped at Mumbai. Where can a plane stop? It cannot stop at anywhere, in any street, in any field, in any other place. It can stop at airport only. So Mumbai here means airport. You may have seen in exams, different exams, whether they are competitive exams or normal exams related to the course or academics. So you see there are MCQs on. There are these questions on prepositions like this, which make a person confused, where you cannot easily guess. So one has to use his brain. One has to be very vigilant. What the question is asking me. So Mumbai is written there, but Mumbai here indicates airport, not Mumbai. One more similar example is our train stopped at Delhi. Where can a train stop? Railway station. So Delhi here means railway station of Delhi, Delhi railway station. So we can use at here, but not in. Then we have another, now we have three prepositions. On, and again we have in and at. Now again you'll see different usage. I told you prepositions, they change their meaning, their function according to the context. In what context you are using them. On is used to show days of a week or months. But when we use on with months like January, February, March, April, May, June, they must contain date. Date must be mentioned with the month. Then only we can use on. Otherwise, we cannot use on. I'll show you this with the help of examples. Where can we use in as a preposition of time? In shows period of time. At shows point of time. Let's see in the upcoming examples. We have an example. She will come on Sunday. On is used with week, days of week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You can see me on Wednesday. I'll call you on Thursday. Days of week we use on, not at. You can meet me at Sunday. That's wrong. We cannot use at on Sunday. Then another example is for months. I told you we can use on with months, but when date is mentioned. For example, she was married on April 20th. Date is there. When date is there, then only we can use on. If date is not there, then on cannot be used. Then in can be used. She was married in April. Because on can only be used when we mention the date. She was married on 15th April. April 15. You can put date before the month or after the month. There is no restriction. Then we will go to Kashmir in summer. Summer is a period of time. We will go to Kashmir in summer. Summer is a period of time. It's an entire period which contains different months. So wherever we have period of time, we use in, and wherever we have point of time, we use at. Let's talk about this example. It will get worse at night. Night. Sir, again, night. Night seems a period of time. Because night is not only 1 hour, 1 minute. So it has a period. But there is one thing with the night, as all the hustle and bustle stops at night. Normally or usually, all the work stops at night. No doubt there are people doing night shifts. There are a number of companies working at night. There are a number of industries working at night. But what the natural law is, everything stops at night. Because God has made night for the rest. So in that context, night is treated or termed as a point of time. That's why we in English, we use at with night when it comes to the usage of preposition at. Same is the case with the previous example. With this example, I take tea in the morning. Morning is considered as period of time. Morning. See, morning is from the daybreak to the noon. If you see me at 9 a.m., you will greet me, good morning, sir. If I again meet you, or if I meet you at 10 a.m., good morning, sir. 10:30 a.m., good morning, sir. 9:30 a.m., good morning, ma'am, good morning, sir. It's a period. We use in with the morning, but you need to remember one thing. Night is not considered as a period, it is considered as a point. I usually wake up at dawn. Dawn means the time when light breaks, when the day comes. That point of time is called the dawn. Its opposite is dusk. When the night falls, that's called a dusk. When the day comes, it's called the dawn. So both these terms, dawn and dusk, they are treated as point of time. So for the point of time, we use at. For the period of time, we use in. Then another usage of on. On shows us the surface. Like, put this picture on the wall. put this picture on the wall. Wall means surface of anything. So with the surfaces we use on, then the cat is lying on the floor. Floor again is the surface. So for the surfaces we use on, and at shows us the position, point, and point on a numerical scale. There is another preposition to. It shows direction and movement. For example, throw the ball to John. When we say to John, that means in the direction of John. The to is used for the directions. At is used for the position. Throw the ball at John. When we say at John, we mean either to hurt John, or to signal John, or to wake up John for some work. So when we are talking about a position, we use at. Or when we are talking about a direction, we use to. He is waiting at the bus stop. Another example we have at the bus stop, point. Where we have a point, bus stop is a point. We use at there. She went to the market, to direction, in the direction of market. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Point on a numerical scale. For the point on a numerical scale, we use at. Then, by. Another preposition is there, by. Where do we use by? By is used with the means of transport. But you need to remember one thing. Whenever we use by with the means of transport, so it should followed by noun. Nothing else than noun. For example, we traveled by bus. We traveled by bus. We cannot say we traveled by the bus. If we say by the bus, that's wrong. If we put anything in between by and noun, then we are not bound to use, we cannot use by them. Something else can be used. As I have written here in the note, when means of transport is particular, when we make the means of transport particular, for example, if we use the here, this means of transport, which is bus, it becomes particular. When the means of transport becomes particular, we can use in and on instead of by. We cannot use by. Then we have to use in and on, but not by. I'll give you some examples, then I'll conclude my lecture. For example, John went there on my bike. If it is John went there bike, then it would have been by bike. But when my is there, this my makes it particular. So we cannot use by, we can use on. We traveled in Mr. Wilson's car. If it is car only, then we can use we traveled by car. But when this car, means of transport, has become particular, we are bound to use in or on. I'll go on 7:30 bus. If it is only bus, then I can write I'll go by bus. But it is 7:30 makes it particular. That's why on is used. So I hope you all have understood this. This is all for today's lecture. Hope you all have understood this all. See you in the next lecture. Till then, thank you and take care.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.